that can be an absolute gold mine.
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Elite Agent Secrets. Today we've got Matt Muscat with us. He is the marketing director of Treadstone Mortgage. He's been in the industry for 10 years. He's also the author, a best-selling author on Amazon of TAG, which is Tangible Action Guide. He also is a host of another amazing podcast called Marketing in Other Markets. And today he's going to be sharing with us how you can optimize referrals, social media messaging, and prospecting by job title. These are going to be super actionable tips so you can go out and get some killer results by the end of this. Matt, thanks for jumping on with us today. We can't wait to hear what you got for our guests.
Thanks, guys. I'm super excited to be here. And I mean, I just think we're all super lucky to work in the real estate industry. I mean, how many industries out there can you make, above a 3% commission on a sale? And when you look at the fact that housing prices keep going up and up and up over the last, forever, presents an awesome opportunity. So for listeners of your podcast to truly realize the fact that if they just did one thing from every episode, they'd easily be making $1 million a year. It's not a joke. It's a real opportunity. And many of your past guests I've heard the podcast have done it. So I love being here today.
It's like mental, right? Because what we get rewarded for the things that we do, it's crazy to begin with, but it's almost crazy for the listeners not to execute against these strategies, right? Because we know they're proven. We're living proof of it.
We're living proof.
We're literally living proof of it. But before we dive in and talk about your topics, what we like to do is take a step back and go to the first day that it started. Give us a little bit of the story behind the glory 10 years ago. Why did you decide to do this to begin with?
Absolutely. So I wanted to be a writer for Saturday Night Live when I was a kid, right? Because I knew I didn't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, but my journalism scholarship, day one, all my teachers at school were like, hey, there's no money in this. We all just got laid off. That's why we're professors. And I was like, holy shit, this is not, sorry for my language, but this is not going to work for me. So I found that I could transfer my major to communications. And then the very last, I don't know, some people in real estate go to college, some don't. I have no opinion on whether you should or shouldn't. But my last semester in college, they started a class on digital marketing. And I was like, okay, this seems like some tangible stuff that if I learn this, I can do this on the internet and I can get more leads, et cetera. So I ended up getting a job. It was 2010. The market was terrible, right? Mortgage companies had just single-handedly ruined the entire world economy, as my mother reminded me when I told her I was about to take a job at a mortgage company. And I got the job because of my good looks, just kidding. But I got the job because I told the company hey, I can do this digital marketing thing. Twitter had just come out. Google had all these new tools between analytics and Google Trends, Google Insights. There were a lot of things out there. And I said, I can get you guys leads off the internet. And they said, well, that'd be great. And then my third day, I got a couple leads. They closed them. They made some money. My third day, I got the leads, and then they closed them a month later. But I said, what else can we do? And they said, well, there are these people called realtors. And if you can get them to like us, they'll send us business. And I said, well, I bet I can get them to like us if I do digital marketing with them and it gets them leads. Then if they get leads, they'll like us more, and then they'll send us more, and it'll be fun. So I started getting thrown into these realtor meetings with people. And every time I met with a realtor, they taught me how they get business. And then I gave them one of my ideas. And so literally I just started a big yellow, this is white, but I started a yellow piece of paper on my desk of all the ideas of what's working for some people and what's working for other people. And 6 years later, I turned that into a PDF that I gave away for free. And then a couple of years after that, I turned it into a book. And I know the attention span of most salespeople is short because you want to read something and see if it's going to work and then do it immediately. And if it works, you'll do more. And if it doesn't work, you move on to the next thing. So that's kind of the way that I market. Very much like you guys do. It's tangible stuff you can do. Like, I don't want to go, like, I'm sure we've all been to real estate conferences where you go there and it's like motivation, rah, 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 you can do it. And like the creative director for Trader Joe's or Nike's up there. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this? Like, how is this going to generate a listing? How is this going to help me get another buyer? So my brand of marketing is just do this one thing now. And then if it works, do it again and do it more. So I think that's kind of the whole backstory. And that's what I love.
Yeah. So that's exactly, you've summed up basically identical to what we're doing here. It's like, hey, these strategies work. This is exactly how you do them. You will get a result, and just keep doing it over and over again. The reason we love having so many guests and exposing so many people to so many amazing people in the industry, because there is a lot of people who are wildly successful, is to go, hey, this worked. You know, I always think of like Jay, who called expireds and FISBOs, and that's how he sold 4,000 homes. And like, that was his main, like, and then we speak with other people that's like Facebook groups, and then it's other people, it's like Facebook ads, which is what we focus on. Other people, it's YouTube organic. Other people, it's like, it could be, you know, other types of content. And the idea of this is, like you said, is like, these are tangible tips, but we're spreading across, like, there is hundreds of ways you can do this. So just need one, right? You can make 7 figures off one of these, which, like, we've proven over and over again. An agent can make 7 figures off one source of traffic. Like, we're all about the single source. And then, you know, you can deviate and you can do a couple of other things if you prefer, but, you know, you don't need to. That's what people, I think, get confused with. You don't need to do all the other shit. You can do one thing and just keep doing that one thing over and over and over and over and over again until basically you're blue in the face and it'll still work.
and Andrew, to your point, for everybody who's listening, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? But you have to skin the cat for long enough before you actually skin it. What do I mean by that? Double down, stay focused, pick one direction, give yourself the mental bandwidth and capacity, and just execute on it. Doesn't matter. We don't care which one you pick. We don't care whether you're picking Facebook ads, referrals, Google ads, whatever's out there, cold calling, door knocking. Just pick it and stick with it, right? And Matt, you can probably, you know, voice this, because now that you've been doing this for 10 plus years with your, by the way, I love that tag, tangible, actionable guide. What are some of the things that you tell, you know, agents to, you know, execute on? What are some of the tangible things that are like in that guide that are like you double down on?
So I'll give you a couple of the more popular ones, and I'll give you kind of the start first. So the first chapter is my least favorite chapter, and it's about, because it's kind of like, you know, it's that stuff that like your broker tells you to do, your manager tells you to do. You know it already. Like, I feel like my first chapter isn't that valuable because you know it, but it's the shit that you're not doing. And it sets up the rest of the strategies. And I know you guys do it and you guys understand it, but you have to have a time block. You have to look at your schedule, and you have to have a realistic time block of how much time in your schedule you can allot to different lead generation activities and other things in your life. Like, whether that's going to the gym or making 100 cold calls or going door knocking or doing Facebook ads or meeting with a Facebook ad agency to do the ads for you. You have to have that in your schedule. Too many realtors too many salespeople treat themselves like a commodity. And let's face it, like, if I'm at a dinner party and the best realtor in town's there and the best surgeon in town's there, the realtor makes more friggin' money every single time. Is that right or wrong? I don't know, like, whatever. But the idea is that a surgeon doesn't let people schedule in their calendar and like override their time, whereas most realtors and salespeople do, right? They're like, oh, someone wants to see a showing for a $200,000 house, and you are now not going to do your Facebook marketing because someone wants a showing list. I mean, you got to control your schedule. So the first chapter, time blocking, but don't buy the book for that. Buy it for what comes next. So the most popular strategy in the book, and this is something that everyone out there, no matter what country you're in, and no matter if you're a first-year agent or a last-year agent, can do. And I call this strategy prospecting job titles. So we all have people, hopefully we all have a database. It starts with that. Once you have a database, I always tell people to put in the job title and the company where your clients work, because then it opens up an opportunity for something crazy. It's something wild that most of us probably don't do. It's called critical thinking. If you know what someone does for a living, you can critically think about how you can help them and how they can help you. Like come on, you guys know, like what's an example of a profession out there who could be a great referral source for a realtor?
Lawyer,
right? I met with a divorce attorney not the other week. Don't tell my wife, it wasn't for like our divorce, but it was because divorce attorneys are able to refer a tremendous amount of business, and the judge in the case can actually like mandate that you sell your house. So
one of the strategies
I was just about to say,
actually divorce lawyers. We've spoken about this for 8+ months, like over that, but it's been used in like our team for over two years. Is divorce lawyers, like is going
lawyer,
to be like
estate attorney.
Estate planning attorneys. I mean, there's so many bankruptcy attorneys can be really good too. Because if the bankruptcy laws are always changing. Between your mortgage lender and your bankruptcy attorney, they can help you figure out when that person's eligible again, and no one else is prospecting them because they were a dead shitty lead for everybody else for all of eternity. So the goal though is to find 20, 30 different job titles that you could prospect. I'll give you guys the secret weapon that no one believes me on: hairdressers.
What is the irony on this? The reason why Andrew's laughing is because the second strategy that we talk about is hairdressers. We actually specifically have somebody on our team who's also, he's a business strategist, but he happens to write loans. And the biggest untapped market that he also talks about is a hairstylist or a hairdresser that you get to sit in front of at least once or twice a month for at least an hour. And they get to sit with a bunch of people every single day. Totally untapped.
It's insane. Like there is no reason like that we shouldn't be taking our hairdressers out to a steakhouse once a quarter, right? Like we need to make sure that they understand how valuable a referral to us is. And we need to make them feel appreciated. And, let's figure out what the reward for them is going to be like within all legal areas. But those are great. People that work in human resources, that's a really easy one. We all have 20 friends that work in human resources at a company. They know who's getting hired to the area that needs to move here from somewhere else. That can be an absolute gold mine.
That's an interesting one. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah. And I mean, the bigger the company, the better. But like, I'll give you an example. I'm in real estate, but I volunteer on a charity board for a local hospital, and the HR person's there. And I just said, hey, like, could I offer your employees, all 1,000 of them, a benefit? If they want to buy a house, we would love to give them $1,000 off. It's not $1,000 off. They get a waived appraisal fee, and then they get $500 donated to the hospital's charitable foundation. Because I never recommend doing a commission discount, but I love doing a donation. I think a donation is great. But between the lender, the realtor, appraisal discount plus a donation, it's a great sticky way to get that referral. And we were able to, through the help of HR, to put it in the company's benefit guide. So I don't have to like show up at 100 presentations 5 times a year. It's in their benefit guide. They get it with every third paycheck. It's on the website. It lists all the discounts they get in town. It's just one of many things.
That's fucking brilliant, Matt.
It's fun, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Yeah. For everybody who's listening, they're like, oh, I can't do it. How do I do it? We're going to ask the question, how did you do that? Like, how did you get the HR to sign off and the company or hospital to buy in on that? Yeah. That you now have the ability to do this at scale where they're like, yes, Matt, we'll put you in our brochure. We'll put you in our benefit guide. Yeah. Like, what did you say? What did the interaction look like?
So it started by just asking. Right. But what happened was, so I'm in these meetings, volunteering, an hour a month, and was talking to
you. Had a relationship.
Because I had a relationship, and because I like to network outside of my groups. Like my wife jokes that all of our friends are realtors, which is mostly true, but there's a couple title people in there too now.
Everybody's got a fucking real estate license.
Yeah, like everybody's mom, right? Everybody's crappy cousin. But I wanted to get myself in different networks. So joined this hospital board and talked to the HR person. And I was just like, hey, like, do you guys have a benefit guide? Like, do you guys have, like, besides health insurance and 401k, like, what else do you guys offer? And she goes, oh, actually, there's 30 local companies in town that offer something that we're able to advertise. And it's all different stuff. But I said, awesome, I'll put one together. So she sent me a form. I filled it out. got the mortgage company to agree, got a realtor to agree. There happened to be a realtor on our board, so we're kind of partnering on it. And so far we've gotten 3 referrals this year. So like, I don't want to lie and say that this is getting me billions of dollars in business, but as one of the other 50 strategies we use, 3 deals, one of them was a doctor, 2 were nurses.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, we're giving access to a private training we did where we revealed the top 3 niches to get listings today completely for free. So if you want access, you can go and download that training at eliteagentsecrets.com. We're regularly releasing new trainings, guides, and cheat sheets, so make sure to head over to eliteagentsecrets.com and sign up so you don't miss out.